everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. Do you know what these are? These are the original Hauwe recorders and I'm going to show them to you and play them for you today. Before I get into the video, I want to say thank you to everybody who has ordered something from the Team Recorder birthday collection. This month the channel turns 5 years old, and to celebrate I released a new line of products, t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, art prints and bags with our new Team Recorder design celebrating the word for recorder in many different languages, and this was all sent in and collected by you, my lovely viewers. So I'll put a link to my web shop down in the description below. Thank you for ordering and supporting the channel. Now on with the video. You may remember a little while ago I interviewed Susanne Fröhlich all about the Evo Hauwe tenor. This is the latest development of the Hauwe, these modern recorders that Susanne has been working on as part of her PhD, and she showed me how it has evolved to its kind of current final stage. Well, not final, nothing's final. What I didn't get to tell you about was the origin of this instrument. Now, you remember a couple of weeks back I had an interview with the recorder legend Walter van Hauwe. He was actually the person that first worked with recorder builder Maarten to develop these instruments. So we were talking about how it all began, and not only that, but he still has the first 3 original prototypes that he's let me show you for the video today. This is recorder history. You remember in my interview from Walter, he was saying about this kind of comprehensive approach to promoting the recorder. They need students and education, pieces from composers to perform, performers traveling the globe, showing concert audience how great the recorder sounds, and recorder builders making instruments. There are a lot of builders that work with Walter and the kind of Amsterdam recorder scene in the beginning. The Petzold Instruments, Fred Morgan, arguably one of the greatest recorder builders ever, and Maarten Hauwe. The development started in the early 90s and it was actually based on a recorder from the 30s. A lot was happening in the recorder world because, by the way, the recorder was not just completely forgotten like that in 1750. It continued to develop throughout the 18th century. I should do a video on this. After Walter and Maarten Hauwe developed these together, this went on for years, and then Maarten Hauwe actually started work with the Hauwe workshop, and Hauwe are the people who now produce the Hauwe instruments. So what I have to show you today are 2 Hauwe tenors and a Hauwe alto that were developed between Walter and Maarten. Ooh, let's see. Number 1. So this, I believe, is the original Hauwe tenor. These were developed in the early 90s. The first piece for a Hauwe instrument was written in 1995. This was a piece called Dame Blanche by Cornelis de Bont. So Walter reckons they were being developed around 1992. That's this one. You see it's in 3 pieces. It's got these long metal keys. Then we have this one, which, as you see, has this more ornate metalwork. I believe this was then the concert instrument that Walter was playing on. This is the original Hauwe alto. Okay, there's lots of extras. Lots and lots of extras here. I don't know what all of these things are. We're gonna find out. So let's play them for you. Oh my God. Let me take a minute to absorb the gravity of this situation. Right, I'm putting together this first one. Being very careful of the keys. The joints are a bit loose, but you know, that's because this recorder is 30 years old by now. Straight away, do you see here, there's this long key here going down here. You have to put it together and then carefully rotate it so that this is over that. That means you can use this little finger to close that hole down at the bottom. Beautiful wood, a dark wood. It looks like grenadilla or palisander, some kind of hard tropical wood. We've got these long keys. Let's just play. it's a bit more reedy almost. Okay, give me a minute to get used to what all of the keys do. Ooh, this key makes it go up. Ah, there's the B. It's quite a stretch. Because I'm not very used to it, I keep overblowing it, but then that highlights something else. This is a harmonic recorder, so if you overblow, you get the in-tune harmonics. Listen to this. I've just noticed that there's a hole here drilled in the instrument that has then been stopped up with, I can't reach that far up, I think it's been stopped with tape. This would have been a hole drilled in to put a microphone inside the recorder. It can be done, don't try it at home if you don't know what you're doing. But what's this? This key, I'm not quite sure of my hand placement with this key. That's obviously something that's really been worked on in later models, but this is the piano key. It opens a hole up here, which makes it a bit higher so you can blow a bit softer. And what else do we have? We have this screw. I'm not going to screw it out too far. Whoa! Do you hear the difference? Let's screw it all the way back in. Wow! So this was the first of its kind. 30 years on, a lot of these elements have been much further developed, but already I can imagine that you have this in your hands for the first time, you're just like, we've got the fact that it's a harmonic recorder, completely different tuning, completely different treatment of the overtones within the instrument. You've got all of these extra keys, each one gives its own world of possibilities, and you've got this adjustable block here. Wow! Okay, let's move on to the other Hauwe tenor and see how that compares. The head joint. Ah, I immediately see. So on this one, you can see this kind of long piano key is a little bit unhandy, waving about at the side. On this one, it's been put onto the back, so I have to be careful to put them together, slide in, then yes, you see that this key down here now does the piano key. Same story here, I've got to put together these two elements of key work safely. There we go. The key work's quite different, and you can imagine when you're developing completely new things on a recorder, you've got to try out different things. Now I'm operating both the bell key, let's say, and the piano key with this little finger, which normally has nothing to do, so it's nice. You've got two jobs now. To make this key mechanism work, I've actually got the head joint twisted like this much. Again, I think that's, maybe I'm doing something weird. Am I doing something weird? Let's see what kind of different sounds we can make. Put the block out a bit. That's a bit louder, stronger, rougher. Whoa, the E is always a note that you have to blow quite softly on the tenor, so to be able to go like ah is a joy. The sound is very reedy, windy. Oh, if I open it like that, now it's more recordery, okay. It's so interesting to play because it's a recorder, but it's also not. It's so different to play and it's magical. I wouldn't want to replace my Baroque recorders only with this, but to have this possibility is really cool. Let's show you the Hauwe alto. So we have it in two pieces, even though the principle is the same. Okay, good, there's no keys to get in the way. We have a few more of the features that have come later for the Helder tenors. We've got this piece of material here that can be swapped in and out. It has this band of metal holding it on. I don't know if you can see, but the block is movable. I can squeeze that with my finger or with my lip. We've got the low B key, the bell key, but we've not got a piano key. And there's a piece of tape. I'm just gonna take off this tape and we have a tiny hole. Yeah, here we've got another hole that's been drilled for a microphone. We have this little plastic thing here. It doesn't, I'm not entirely sure what this is. Okay, let's play. This is something different. It plays incredibly easily, the notes just flow, you can give a lot of sound. It's a really different sound. It's, wow, I mean, how can I describe this? Just the set of overtones and the texture is completely different to a recorder. It's, my brain's going like, whoa. Okay, let's open the block. Oh, what? Oh, if I open this, it makes the block a lot more movable. I'm doing that with my lip. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's put it back in, see what I've got. The more I close this, the less you can move the block with your lip. Got it. It's quite a medieval sound. That's what I love about the recorder. We keep going more and more modern, more and more contemporary, but it just keeps taking us right back to the beginning. Dare I try and replace this with one of the other pieces? I don't know. So in the box there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 other platelets. Each one will be a different material and more importantly different shape, which will guide the air differently. You'll get another sound. Oh, okay, this does just slide off. This lifts off. Okay, that's my original platelet. And you can see under here is the block. If I unscrew the screw, then it's very movable. Obviously, we're going to try this funny plastic one. Place that in. Seem pretty painless. Let's play. Okay, screw that back in. Ooh, you definitely have that kind of bright, glassy, plasticky feeling. I don't mean that in a bad way at all. Let's try a different one straight away. Light wooden one. Much more Baroque feeling. Let's try one more. So different again. My feeling is that on one hand you have this incredible universe of possibilities opening up to you. You can alter the sound so much by literally changing the physical parts of it. Overtones, amount of air, dynamics, it's so flexible. And you've also got all of these extra keys to help you and the way that it's built as a harmonic instrument. I miss the dance that you have to do when you're playing a regular Baroque recorder. It's this delicate balance of your airstream, your fingers, your tuning. Everything has to be held in such a tight balance, or you break a note or you go out of tune. And I miss that. I mean, that's what makes the recorder the recorder. It's I've said this before, and it's also what Walter said in his interview, and I agree with him. The flexibility of the recorder is its danger, but also its joy. So where I would choose a Helder recorder over a Baroque recorder would definitely be for contemporary repertoire, where you want to do this extreme virtuosic stuff, you want to be loud or you want to be flexible, you just want it to work so you can play all of that. A Helder, that's what it's made for, and I feel now like I've made it sound like these are just easy to play, like anyone can pick this up and be like virtuoso. To really get into all the possibilities of this and be able to create all these subtleties, it's difficult and it needs time, of course. Some of the delicacies of the Baroque recorder have been solved with this, solved in big quotation marks, but then a whole host of new things to contend with come as well. Would I want to replace all of my Baroque instruments with this? No! Almost enjoying the struggle of getting these Baroque instruments to do what you want, that's part of the process and part of being a recorder player and part of the result. And it is fascinating to see, although these are super modern and very different from a Baroque recorder, they've still developed so much further, like you saw in Susanna's video. So this was a little look at the original Helder instruments. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face. Over here's the Team Recorder webshop, where you can order the Team Recorder birthday collection. The launch was last week. Interview with Walter, interview with Susanna. Have fun. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!